Hi, I'm Katie Barr, and this is BocaMatters. Nancy-Jo Feinberg is running for seat 3 on the Greater Beach and Park District Commission. She joins us today to tell us a little bit about herself and why she's asking for your vote. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Katie. I'm happy to be here. I would like to bring some golf expertise to the Beach and Park District Commission Board because I don't think they have a lot. I'm a fairly decent athlete and an accomplished golfer. I've won many club championships in my life. I've won the Palm Beach County Women's Golf Association a couple of times. I've represented the United States in the Maccabi Games, which is sort of like the Jewish Olympics. I've played both in Israel and in Germany and medaled on both occasions. I was involved in the construction of the golf courses at Broken Sound Club. Worked closely with Gene Bates when they did the design of the golf course. And they're considered very nice golf courses. The PGA, of course, has used the old course for many years for their senior tournaments. When I was on the Board of Governors of Broken Sound Club, they did the regrassing. So I have some familiarity with golf course management and expertise. So that was the area that caused me to get involved with the Beach and Parks District. They paid an enormous amount of money, 5 times more than the assessed value for the land. And it had no development rights on it. So there was a lot of question about that. It was very expensive. They chose a very expensive design. And when the city offered to pay for the golf course, Beach and Parks turned them down and said that they didn't respect, if I could quote my opponent, they disrespected the efforts that they took for a year and a half to look at developers and to come to where they were. As I listened to that, I was pained at the lack of cooperation between the city government and Beach and Parks. I would certainly want to work more closely. Those two government entities need to work in concert.
So do you follow the meetings, Nancy-Jo, or have you spoken at any of the meetings?
Yes, I spoke at the first meeting when they were going to spend $28 million and raise property taxes. And after that, Katie, some people came up to me and asked me to run, which is how I sort of got involved in all of this.
What do you think about the location for the potential Boca National?
Well, I don't know that there are a lot of choices. People have said that they want it to be like these wonderful golf courses, and they've mentioned some public golf courses around the world, around the country. And, you know, the piece of property is not the most ideal. I mean, it's stuck between I-95 and you know, some construction of older condominiums. It's not a beautiful piece of property. But I think we can build a first-class golf course there. What also concerns me, and no one is talking about this, is that we get a good superintendent and that we have we put the money in to maintain the golf course. That is extremely important on any golf course.
What have you played at Osprey Point?
Yes, I've played at all the golf courses in the area, public and private. I haven't played lately either at Osprey or the Muni golf course or the municipal golf course in Del Rey that I've played at a number of times. But I know that Boca Muni hasn't been kept up. It's not as magnificent a course as it was. We've lived here for 38 years, and it was really terrific. And it's had some issues of late.
Yeah, it's neglected.
And one of my concerns, and when I spoke at the meeting, was really for a tax increase.
But you're in
Beach and
favor of
parks.
raising it?
Beach and parks, no, not at all. Beach and parks can't begin to do what they want to do and not raise taxes. And when I spoke, it was initially against that because I thought that $28 million for the golf course, I mean, so much more than we've ever spent. By the time I spoke, there was a man, an engineer in front of me. And by the time I got up, I said, you know, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, Mr. Jones, you know, was spot on when he said it's about $6 million to build a golf course. The rest of this is such an extravagance. And I mean, I love the outdoors. I certainly love golf and want to promote it, and I want to have a nice golf course. But beach and parks is so much more than just the golf course.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, Gumbo Limbo is such a prize in South Florida and really for the whole country in terms of its turtle rescue operations and its environmental educational programs. And
So, okay,
there's
so
so
let's
many things
say,
we need to spend money on.
let's fast forward and say you are elected to the board. What issues do you think need to be addressed immediately?
Well, certainly we have to work on the golf course, and we want to get a golf course up and running as quickly as possible. I mean, that goes without saying. So that's number one. We need to have some fiscal responsibility. They talked about Ocean Strand. They've had it for 24 years. Yes, it needs to be opened up to the public. Gumbo Limbo does need some parking.
Right.
Some additional parking. That's a desperate need there, and they're adjoining. So I'd like to see some of that area help with the situation at Gumbo Limbo. And then I'd like to see people enjoy it up and down the intercoastal. It's a beautiful area. And I think that's one of the main attractions of Boca is that we have all of these beaches and parks that are wonderful that our neighbors don't have.
Right.
We're
So
fortunate.
I imagine the Red Reef golf course is like just a putting green to you because you're such a pro.
No. I mean, it's very nice. All of the opportunities to be outside and to enjoy the outdoors is terrific, especially as we suffer through this coronavirus
Right.
situation and the poor families with little ones who need to get them out into the sunshine and expending some energy and to do it safely.
Right. It
Um,
seems like our beach and parks are more important than ever right now with our current
yes,
situation.
absolutely they are. Um,
So let me ask you, would you be in favor of purchasing more land, like some land perhaps that's outside of the city limits? You know, still in the district, of course.
Okay, if we're in the district, yes, I'm always interested in expanding the parks for us. Environmentally, it's a wonderful thing to keep green spaces, and for the kids who play sports, whether it's saber or any of the other leagues, the baseball and flag football and all. At one point, we were playing co-ed softball for the tennis courts and pickleball courts, which are now in such demand. I mean, there's always need for recreation in Boca Raton. And so, sure, I would love to see us be able to purchase more open space. But all of that costs money. And so we have to be vigilant on on our tax dollars and not put all of our eggs in one basket.
Mhm.
And that is a concern. Nobody loves golf more than I do, but we have to do it responsibly and understand that we have lots of people who enjoy the beaches and enjoy the other parks and other recreational activities, and we have to support them as well.
You know, there's a perception, and maybe it's not accurate, but people kind of feel like the city and the Beach and Park District have not had the best relationship, or as far as collaborating on things.
That is for sure. When
Right.
I listen to I listened to a number of beach and joint meetings between the beach and parks and city council, and it just horrified me with how little there was an effort made to work together. It's
What could
horrible.
you do? Is there anything you think you would bring to the board as far as your?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've found, I've been on a few boards, is that people's ego gets in the way. Katie, I'm not a young person. I'm not
Sure you
or
are.
with age. I'm younger than the presidential candidates. But at any rate, I don't have to create a resume. I don't care if this one wants to get the credit or that one wants to get the credit. I'm not trying to get credit. I'm trying to accomplish something.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have that attitude, let's keep our goal in focus and just move forward to the goal. I don't, it doesn't matter who gets credit for it. Let's get it accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, I'm sorry, I would be an adult in the room. I want to move forward. I want to be able to accomplish for the citizens of Boca Raton and the Beach and Park District a wonderful system of outdoor activities and facilities at a reasonable price without raising taxes. And I think all of that can be done if we're mature and we all work together.
Mm-hmm. Well, is there anything that, we haven't touched upon that you think the voters should know about you?
I've raised 3 children in Boca. We've lived here for 38 years. We've used all kinds of all of the beaches and parks through the years, and my kids have played sports and traveling sports. We helped at one point when they built Beach and Park, when they built Sugar Sand Park. It wasn't too far from where we lived, and we went over there with hammers and nails, and they had community literally building the playground.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we had some more community involvement with the maintenance of some of these parks, or with help, the way Gumbo Limbo has a Friends of Gumbo Limbo, there's ways of utilizing people's skills and passions. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of that. Mm-hmm. and see what we can do to bring people together, because we're all in this together. We all have the same goal.
Right.
So if we all have the same goal, why can't we all work together and move forward and create a even better system than we have now?
Well, I like
the other.
I think we're in agreement there, Nancy. If voters would like to get in touch with you or contribute to your campaign, do you have any information?
I have a Facebook page sort of up and running. Otherwise, they can send it to me at my home address.
Just as long as the voters can, if they want to ask you questions, they can email you questions. And
absolutely. NJ Feinberg @me.com.
Well, Nancy, it's really been a pleasure speaking with you today. We wish you best of luck in the upcoming election.
Sorry about that.
And we'll be watching polls along with you on August 18th.
Well, thank you, Katie. Thank you for the opportunity, and keep up your good work.
Thank you. Well, that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And please keep your questions and comments coming into bocafirst.org.